Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I have two edge catchers because I'm going to do a scape, and when I stop the paint from flowing over, I like to have a shorter one, and I thought I'd mention that. The longer one is just the right length. I'm going to put that someplace I hope I remember it is. Put this someplace I can find it also, maybe in the same place. And I'm going to grab a combination of Anita's white metallic and some Artist Loft white. And every time I do this, I want to do it a little differently, so somehow I remember the variations on the theme. And I think I'm going to grab an OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, give myself a little bit of a damp canvas. Get that out of here. I might want some more of that in a minute. It doesn't matter what I do now. I want to be able to pour the sky. Tilt the sky. I want to tilt the sky. That sounds pretty cool. I want to tilt the sky. Sounds like Don Quixote, actually. Tilt at windmills. Similar. So I am just taking a bead of paint along the edge of the spatula and using it to flow over the edge right now and rubbing it in. Okay, so the reason I left gaps in there, in my mind anyway, was to put some blue sky around, because I'm kind of figuring that the white is going to wind up being clouds. Let's just keep going. That is Venetian blue added to Anita's white metallic. I think you could use any pearl. This is a Arteza electric blue, which I bought a bunch of bottles because I was so in love with, along with the golden hour. They're both metallic. I'm going to wipe that spatula off since it's not too painty, because I might wind up using it again. You never know. Usually I just throw them in the bucket. Okay, so it's time for the short edge catcher. And then maybe the long one. So usually I start by letting everything flow together. I may add other colors. That's looking very dark to me. I don't think I'm going to let that go all that far before I do it again. I want to tip up so I can cover the top and change the pattern. But like I said, it's looking very dark. I just bought another pale purple, sort of a lilac color, and I'm looking forward to using it because I'm almost out of the one that I mixed. It must be as old as my paint pouring experiences, honestly. Throw that over there. Let's grab this. So even though I fold it around loosely, when it hits when it starts to hit the edge catcher, it creates a seal, and I do tend to want to let the bead of paint roll down there, and then throw it back in, and squeeze it back on so that not much paint is on the edge catcher, and then I will do the same thing. You see the wave of paint moving down. I want it to move down so the heaviest part is at the bottom, where the gap is at the top of the edge catcher, at the top of the canvas rather. I could flip the canvas around too, but every time I do this and squeeze it a little bit so it covers, every time I do this I'll get new patterns. And I can scrape off what I've got, and I probably will. So if I don't love the pattern I've got, I can let the paint flow right off again, and in this case I'm going to let it flow off, roll down, and then push it right back on again. And I might just keep doing that if I weren't making a video. Indefinitely until I love what I've got. But in the meantime, what I really want to do is take all my paint, my extra paint, off my edge catchers with my OXO Omelet Turning Flip and Fold Spatula, available on my Amazon link. And I don't tell you just so I can make money, because I make very little money. I tell you because it's the most awesome tool I've run into, and I recommend it highly. I have like 5 now, and they're not inexpensive, but they're worth the price. They're like $9 and $10 for the 2 different sizes. I've been gifted a couple of times by patrons or fans or whatever you want to call yourselves, but I really appreciate it because they come in handy. They help me make videos faster. I think that I should not have done that right up close, but the truth is that I have a spatula, so it means that if I want to put something in there, I can use my spatula and move the paint back. I'm going to take that right out of there, whatever it is. And I don't mind using whatever's handy to keep the bottom of the canvas moist. But I think I'm going to tip all this down first before I do anything else. I think that was from another painting. So I've got one gray cloud. Clever girl. One gray and blue cloud. I'll call it one thunderhead. And what I wanted to do was use, where's the Anitas? Use the Anitas to give myself a little bit of extra flowability. New word. This is my golden hour, which has obviously become plugged because I left the paint in the cap, which was not a good idea. And I want it. Oh, wow. Evidently I have paint in the threads also, which is something you should know about removing if you decide to use bottles. This is what paint in the threads looks like. There's a lot of it. And if it breaks up like that little lump there, it gets caught in your tip. In the meantime, these stainless steel tweezers on my Amazon link are the bomb. I totally recommend them. They go into the tip of your bottle and remove whatever's in there, and also wind around and do a very good job of taking the paint in the threads out also. Both things. Oh, I just wiped that down on my straw tip. Okay, well, never mind that. I'm going to use some of this golden hour, which, as I may have said, is metallic. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake first. I'm going to put it right down into the Anitas. And I'm going to hope that I tipped that enough. Yeah, take that off of there before it goes someplace you don't want it. I'm just going to mix the colors that I like. This is a yellow with some orange in it. I'm going to put some of that above and below and just make it sort of random. This is a new color I mixed up today, which is very similar to the last color, with the exception of it wasn't open when I got to it, and now I've just used it to swallow up a bunch of other things. I'm going to throw a little bit of my pink diamond in there, which is my new Color Art Prism Pour. And I haven't used today, some Anita's pink. It's Anita's white metallic with some pink in it. I'm not going to put a darker orange in there yet. And I'm wondering if I put too much paint on there, which means, basically for me, if I put an edge sketcher down, I just want a little tiny piece. So I'm going to show you what I do, which is grab a little tiny piece, which is still too big. But I'm going to use it because I can start it at the top there. And everything's going to flow that's up above. And hopefully it'll go on that edge catcher. Good girl, Priscilla. I wish I'd put that orange in there now. I'm going to let that all go up and back over and down again. Because I can! The name of my first book and the Amazon link. Now, I think I'm going to use a skewer, and I did grab the clean one out just in case I needed it. Just to mess with the solid areas and make some skylines. I don't know what else to call them. That's the word that came to mind. That's my sunset sky. I think I'm going to run out of time, to tell you the truth. I'm just having too much fun relaxing and going slowly. I'm going to throw a little bit of orange in there. Three suns. Really doesn't have to be very realistic to be cool. And I've been admiring yellow strips along skies for a little bit recently. I'll give that a quick torch. Kind of want some red in there, honestly. I'm not sure. Yes, bottles are convenient. And then again, I've got 5 minutes or less, 4 minutes and some. Well, that's not really true because I'll have 2 minutes after the timer goes off. So I'll just use that skewer and we'll get right in here. And I can see that I need to shake that up. Take my chances. It's a very magenta-based red. And I don't have a whole lot of it. I'm not sure I need a whole lot more. If I roll the skewer, I can pick up some paint that I can put down somewhere else. I don't want to put too much down in the green, in the blue, because it'll be green. Like that. Straw, please. Can't always tell which way the paint will go when it spreads out again. So I need my hillside city, and I want some colors that are conducive, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. There's some copper and a little orange. A little purple. That's the amethyst from Artist Loft. So I'm just going to start making sure there's no paint right on the edge of that. give myself just enough at the edge to do something with. I need some gold for sure. I made some new gold up out of my experimentations with Amsterdam pouring medium and golden iridescent fine. Throw a little bit of white in there. I think a little black is going to happen too. And I was going to swipe with the spatula, but I'm much more inclined to do something different. I like the purple in the background, so much so, no qualms at all about putting a whole bunch more of it in there. That gold is pretty slick too. So I'm getting some nice cells even though I'm not using anything to make cells with yet. But that black Meeden, I accidentally put a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, I put a bunch of white in there, excuse me, I put a bunch of water in there. I'm trying to get my edge covered and I shouldn't be doing that right now because I've got another project at hand. So I kind of wanted a city. I don't ever mind using, I got 2 minutes. I'll show you this to you guys really quickly. I don't want that blue in there, but maybe it's okay. I am going to use a straw. Upside down, right side up. I wanted to put some trees in here, but it never seems to work out. So we have some really pretty stuff happening. I guess I'm going to leave that little bit of blue. And that's pretty cool. And I'll just put some more colors in here. And I was going to use my little tools and some cell activator, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen anymore. I want a little bit more of everything. It seems to work itself out. I know it seems like I know what I'm doing, but really there's a trust factor that the universe and Mother Earth and all things get together and they just figure out that they're going to make it work. Looks like there's a lake. And so if I never use any Australian Floetrol at this point, it's okay. So long as I have that black. I got 1 minute left to tell you guys I do sell my artwork and my email address is underneath show more, underneath the link tree. The link tree has Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links. If you guys want to be in the monthly drawing and see the prizes, look on the end screen video and the exhibition video at the beginning and you'll see what the paintings are that are being offered to people who make donations through PayPal, and you can find that icon in the bottom right hand corner of my YouTube channel banner. And you are probably going to be gone soon, so I will turn this around so you can see it. I think I'm going to leave those blue spots because they look like water to me. And if I just shimmy the card across. So I'll probably work on that a little tiny bit more, but I kind of like how strange the bottom is. Put those reflections from that puddle I stole. There we go. I love you guys. I hope you come again. If